Hey, my name is James, and I do unboxing videos of graded magazines because that's what I collect. So if you've watched these videos before, you know the rules. If you're new, I know what these issues are, but I don't know what the grades are. And that's really what's kind of fun about these videos is you get my surprise reaction to the grades. And sometimes they match my projections, and sometimes they're better than what I think, although not that often, because we all overestimate the grades we're getting. And a lot of times they're worse than what I think, and every now and then we get a dreaded 9.6, and I want to, curl up in the fetal position and, go to sleep. So, real quickly, while I'm going through these and making sure I got things right, I want to talk about this. Newsstand versus subscription, because not a week goes by where I don't get an email or a DM or somebody reaching out to me saying, Jim, why do you hate subscription issues so much? The truth is, I don't hate subscription issues so much. They're just not something I collect. I've got tons of subscription issues. But for me, they're just not something I get graded because the SI produced millions, literally millions of every single copy every single week. Newsstand editions were more like in the 50 to 100,000 range. So that's why I don't collect new subscription issues. If you want to collect them, go ahead. I am not a collector snob. I am not the arbiter of this hobby that says what you should do. If you want to collect subscription issues, I encourage you to do that. They still display great. So I don't hate subscription issues. They're just not for me. But if they're for you, awesome. Knock yourself out. 10 slabs in this box. They're all technically modern, which by CGC's definition is 1975 to present. But there's a couple from the 70s in here, and then there's some more modern ones. And if you're an A-plus collector, you probably know what this issue is just by looking at the back. So we're starting ourselves off with a big dog, and let's get to it. Okay, so this fell right within my projections. LeBron James, first Sports Illustrated cover from 2002, graded at 8.5. 8.5 was my projection on this one. Seen a lot of these lately for my unboxing videos. It is, in my opinion, the single biggest issue, modern issue in the entire hobby. I think it's bigger than the Kobe issue, bigger than the Mahomes issue. I think it's close with Tiger Woods. I think Tiger's the only one of modern issues that really gives this one a run for its money. And if ask me on another day, and I may say Tiger's the biggest modern issue. So it's 1A and 1B for these for sure. February 18th, 2002 is when this came out. Now the pop counts are kind of getting up there. But they've also started to kind of slow down in the last couple of months. We're up to 43 9.8s, 43 9.6s, and 32 9.4s. I love this issue in any grade, except for, if you saw my unboxing video not too long ago, I had a restored copy of this issue, where the person apparently that I had purchased it from had used some black ink to cover up some spine ticks that break color. And so, aside from a purple label or a green qualified label, in a blue label, this is a beautiful mag in any grade. LeBron James, first Sports Illustrated cover, 8.5. Okay, so spot on with my projection. We're off to an okay start. Next up, man, a lot of dark ink on the back of this one. This is, I think I know what this, in fact, now I do know what this issue is. I recognize the back cover. Super condition sensitive. I've sent in a bunch of these. Fingers crossed this is the one. No, and it is not. It is not what I was looking for. It's labeled properly, though. Kevin Garnett, first Sports Illustrated issue. This came out on June 26th, 1995. There is one 9.8. That's it. Again, a lot of dark ink along the spine, a lot of dark ink on the back, super condition sensitive. Only one person has ever popped a 9.8. There are now 7 9.6s. 4 9.4s. I projected this at a 9.6, so I can't be that devastated, but man, was really hoping for that 9.8. Kevin Garnett really paved the way for the modern era of high school athletes going straight into the NBA. I did not know this. So years ago, the NBA had a rule that said you had to do 4 years of college before you come to the NBA, and they got sued, and it went all the way to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court said, you can't do that, NBA. And so you saw some guys coming straight to high school, straight to the NBA from high school. Moses Malone was probably most famously. Daryl Dawkins did it there in the late 70s, early 80s. But then you had to wait like 10 or 20 years later before Kevin Garnett was the next one after Daryl Dawkins, and coming into the league and kind of paved the way for LeBron and Kobe and some of those other guys to do it as well. And now, rules have changed, and you got a lot of one and done college athletes or guys that graduate high school and go over to Europe for a year. So Kevin Garnett, kind of a trailblazer, coming out of high school in Chicago and going straight to the NBA. I do not love that 9.6, but I do think that's a very cool issue. 9.6. All right, give me a minute. You just got to collect my thoughts. Keep my emotions in check before I start getting pissed off at 9.6s. Let's hope that's the only 9.6 in the whole box. Next up. Oh, that's very nice. Oh, that is very, very nice. Wow. Okay, I like this a lot. The Kareem also rises, or the Kareem rises. Sports Illustrated copywriters and your headline puns. May 9th, 1983. This you're looking at right here is a pop 1 of 1, none higher. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on this cover. I projected this at a 9.0. I'm 3 for 3 on my projections. That's pretty good for as inconsistent as CGC's grading has been lately. Being 3 for 3, I'll take it. I'm a sucker for any Kareem cover that shows the skyhook. And he's got his goggles on there too. Look at that. What a great looking shot. So I'm a sucker for any Kareem cover that's got a skyhook. 1983, the Lakers take the 76ers to 7 games in the NBA Finals before losing. That's where Dr. J, the 83 Finals with the Sixers, got his first and only NBA championship. But the Lakers, man, we're right there with them all the way to Game 7. So Kareem from 1983, 9.0. Pop 1 of 1, none higher. I like that a lot. Okay, next up. Oh, okay, yeah, this is kind of a fun one. Slam Magazine. This is Slam 233. This came out in August, September. It was kind of a double issue of 2021, obviously coinciding with the remake of Space Jam. You've got LeBron James, you've got Bugs Bunny on there. Kind of cool. Unfortunately, CGC Census is a dumpster fire on this specific issue. There were 2 different issues released, so there's a variant. I think maybe Devin Booker might be on the other cover. But then they did a ton of metal editions. And if you're not familiar with Slam issues every now and then will issue a collectible, numbered, serial numbered collectible issue of their issues. And so I think there's like 3 or 4 different numbered versions. There's like a cosmic and a black metal and a platinum metal and a gold metal or something like that. But CGC is just, it's the census on this issue is an absolute dumpster fire, and I couldn't make heads or tails of it. So hopefully they'll get that cleaned up. I'm not really one for gimmicky issues like this. I thought it was kind of cool. I mean, the movie stank. What do you expect? What, are you trying to beat Jordan? LeBron, always trying to be better than Jordan. He's not, and he certainly wasn't with Space Jam, because the first Space Jam is 10 times better than that. All right, next up. Oh, that is very nice. That is very nice there. That is Larry Bird. Headline is Boston Battles Ahead. So this came out on, let me get the date on this, May 2nd, 1983. Great issue. This is, again, the CGC census was a little bit jacked up on this one, and so I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, okay, so yeah, I projected this at an 8.5. So the fact that it is a 9.0, I'm absolutely thrilled. The pop reports, there's a 9.4, there are 3 9.2s, and now there are 2 9.0s. I'm pretty happy with that. Like I said, thought it was going to be an 8.5. It ended up popping a 9.0. Little piece of trivia here. This is actually Dominique Wilkins on the cover. Technically, it's Dominique Wilkins' first cover, but not a great first cover since it's a bird-focused cover. In my opinion, Dominique's other cover from 1986, which is just a real tight close-up shot of him from a game, is his better cover. I don't know. And I think it's more collectible. I've done videos on this before. The first cover is generally most collectible, but there are some times when an athlete's got not the best first cover, and then so the second cover ends up being better and more collectible. I think Kareem, back when he was Lou Alcindor, is probably the best example of that. Bo Jackson's another great example. There's a number of them out there. Okay, so let's see. My projections, I was spot on with 3 of them, and then did better than my projection on that Larry Bird one there. Okay, next up. Oh, man. There's another nice one. That's a good-looking grade and a great-looking cover. Okay, Walter Payton, Chicago's one-man gang, August 16th, 1982. You're looking at a pop 1 of 1, none higher. Highest graded copy in the world of this one. You've seen my other videos. You know I'm a Chicago sports guy. Bulls, Bears, Cubs, Blackhawks. When I was a kid, Walter Payton, was everything as it relates to football with me. And, he was everything for any Bears fan. I mean, since the Bears drafted Payton in 1976, and they were terrible. I mean, terrible. There was a joke. It was called the Bears ran the 4P offense. Payton, 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 and punt. And that's kind of what they did for a number of years. So this one came out in 1982. It was the first year for brand new head coach, Mike Ditka. The bummer was that was a strike-shortened year, and so the Bears finished the season 3-6, only played 9 games that year because of the strike. But again, 3 years later, the Bears won the Super Bowl with the greatest defense in NFL history. So this was what was to come. Love that. Love that Walter Payton. That's a beautiful looking issue. Even if you're not a Bears fan, that's a good looking issue. All right, what we got here? What's next? Okay. So this is kind of interesting. So this is Travis Hunter, Shedeur Sanders, and Deion Sanders. So this is really new issue. Came out in July 2022. This I had projected at a 9.6 to 9.4. It is the only graded copy. Not a surprise since it just came out less than a year ago. I think this is obviously a speculation issue. But all of these guys were at Jackson State when this issue came out. Now they're all in a Power 5 conference. They're all at Colorado with Deion as the head coach, and his son Shedeur is the starting quarterback. Travis Hunter is the starting cornerback. It's going to be really interesting to see what Deion does against some Power 5 competition. Now, the good news is Colorado was the worst Power 5 team in all of college football last year, so he's got nowhere to go but up. But certainly a speculation issue. It's entirely possible that he can turn that program around, and it's entirely possible that Shedeur Sanders ends up being a really rock-solid quarterback prospect in the NFL. So really interesting to see what he can do. 9.4, don't love that grade from such a modern issue, but these newer Sports Illustrated issues, still really tough to get a high grade on. If you've looked to purchase a newer Sports Illustrated issue off the newsstand to get graded, you'll know what I mean, because they get just beat to hell. I go to Barnes & Noble looking for new issues, and a lot of times I walk out the door and I don't buy it because the ones on the newsstand are just destroyed and have no shot at a high grade. So 9.4. Yeah, what are you going to do? Next up. Okay, pretty good on that one. Larry Bird, the NBA's best all-around player. That's the headline. So this is November 9th, 1981. This is tied. This is a Pop 2, none graded higher. Really, really condition-sensitive issue. So let's talk about that. Full color back. Got a full color front. We've got some dark brown ink along the spine there. And we have, again, a gatefold. That green strip is not the cover. It's page 2. This cover opens up into this trifold sort of thing that that's an advertising supplement, but what it does is it almost gives you a second spine. So it's a whole nother area where it's folded in, and you've got all sorts of chance to get some damage and some flaws that can't be fixed, and that ink flaking off there. So really condition sensitive issue. This is 1 of 2 and absolutely none graded higher. It only took 1 full season. This came out in 81. Bird's rookie year was the year before that. It only took 1 full season for the NBA to declare Bird the best all-around player. And the 81-82 Celtics, which was this season, lost in the conference finals 4-3 to the 76ers that year. 8.5 bird. I can't be, I mean, that was my projection. My projection was 8.5. It hit it. And there's one other out there, along with that one, as the highest graded copies in the world. Can't be disappointed with that. Next up. Normally I'm thrilled with the 9.0, but the highest graded copy is 9.2, so I was pushing for that. This is the 1977 swimsuit issue. Lena Kansbod was the model that's on the cover. There's a 9.2, there's one 9.2, there are now two 9.0s, and there's an 8.0. I projected this at 8.5, so I'll take that 9.0 all day, but you know me, I'm a grade snob, always got to be disappointed in something, and my disappointment in this one is it couldn't tie or beat that highest graded copy out there. You know, there are plenty of people in this hobby that only collect swimsuit issues, and obviously the swimsuit issues have gotten a little different in recent years, and they're issuing multiple variants of different people on the cover and that sort of stuff. The vintage ones are really hard to come by in newsstand, especially in any sort of halfway decent shape. So pretty good there with a swimsuit issue at 9.0. Okay, last one. Let's see what we got here. Hey, nice. That's a nice 9.8. That's a really nice 9.8. Here's another really very new issue. This is Stefon Diggs. Let me look. Oh, yeah, they did it. CGC's gotten better. They've gotten better. They're doing better with variants. They're doing better with first covers. They're not perfect. They're still missing some every now and then, but it used to be they missed them all, even though I was requesting it, but they're getting better at it. So this is Stefon Diggs and Trayvon Diggs. It's both of their first cover. It came out on August 2022. It's a pop 1 of 1, none higher. I projected this at a 9.6, so I love seeing it come in at 9.8. Stefon is an all-pro wide receiver with the Bills. Trayvon, an all-pro defensive guy with the Cowboys. I thought that this was kind of a cool cover with the two of them, the brothers, getting their first Sports Illustrated cover, and popping it at a 9.8 is very nice. Bond of Brothers, that's the headline on there. Good unboxing video. That was fun. A little bit different. Some weird and different stuff in there. Check me out on social media. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Reddit, Facebook, eBay. It's all the same username, CGC Sports Illustrated. And do me a favor, like and subscribe here on this YouTube channel. It does help me out a lot. And I really appreciate you watching. We'll do one again soon. Thanks.